Today we will gonna cover the show Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from beginning to end. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is an American computer animated TV series with 124 episodes starting in 2012 and ending in 2017. In this series, the four Ninja Turtles Leonardo aka Leo, Donatello aka Donnie, Raphael aka Raph, Michelangelo aka Mikey along with their sensei Splinter, fights to protect their town from evil villains. So without any further ado, let's jump right in. Ninjutsu Sensei Hamato Yoshi is carrying his four pet turtles through the streets of Manhattan, New York City, when he encounters members of an alien race called the Krong. During an altercation with these aliens, Yoshi and the turtles are exposed to a mysterious radioactive alien chemical substance ooze called mutagen, which causes organic beings to undergo major physical transformations. Yoshi becomes a humanoid brown rat and the turtles become anthropomorphic, taking on human characteristics. Taking upon the new name Splinter, he retreats to the New York City sewers via the subway tunnels, where he finds an underground chamber, raises the four turtles as his adopted sons, and imparts to them his knowledge of ninjutsu. Now teenagers, the turtles venture to the surface for the first time in 15 years and learn that the Krong are using the mutagen as part of their plan to take over all of New York City. The turtles befriend the teenage April O'Neil after she and her father Kirby O'Neil are abducted by the Krong. Donatello also develops an instant crush on April, while Kirby remains a prisoner of the Krong. April becomes an ally of the turtles, who try to help her locate her father. April is also trained by Splinter to be a kunoichi. The turtles also learn that Splinter's longtime archenemy Oroku Saki has come to New York City, and has ordered his Foot Clan to track down Splinter and his sons, and put an end to their clan. This family feud eventually earns the coincidence of two of Shredder's disciples, martial arts star Chris Bradford and Brazilian street thug Xever Montes, getting mutated into Dog Pound and Fishface. Furthermore, Shredder recruits former TCRI inventor and mad scientist Baxter Stockman, after his Mousers cross paths with Dog Pound threatening some purple dragons to hack into April's phone, but consistently threatens the scientist due to Stockman's incompetence and his ulterior motives. The turtles also encounter Dr. Victor Falco, also known as the Rat King, who, along with having an army of New York rats, tried to brainwash Splinter into joining the dark side. Learning about the Krong's presence through his daughter Karai, Shredder enters an alliance with the aliens to destroy their mutual enemies in the Hamato clan. At one point, Karai considers offering an alliance with the turtles to annihilate the Krong once she sees the seriousness of an alien threat, and informs them that Shredder blatantly disregards their presence, in addition to offering them secret access to a shipment of weapons at the dockyard to take down the UFO. But this comes after she peskily stalks and duels with the turtles, and tracking them down to a facility where a major battle ensues before treacherously and selfishly abandoning them to fight a mutant she slyly, heedlessly and intentionally created. Furthermore, Karai was so untrustworthy that she was agreeing with Raphael that she poses a menacing threat. Karai also blatantly disregarded Leo's offer of redemption because of her recent betrayal. The turtles are initially skeptical, but later come to an agreement with her. However, when they sneakily ambush Shredder at the docks, it costs the turtles her friendship when they learn that she considers Shredder as her father. Afterwards, Shredder interrogates a captured Krong droid, who speaks sufficient English to inform him that the turtles are sheltering April, who is key to the aliens' plot. Shredder sends Karai to capture and abduct April, while the turtles battle the Krong in an underwater facility. Eventually, turtles are successful with thwarting this Krong plot. Meanwhile, April narrowly eludes Karai after a lengthy chase. Upon returning to Splinter and the turtles, April decides to take shelter at the turtles' underground sewer lair for an extended time to train with Master Splinter while the turtles face double the threat. As Shredder begins to ally himself with the Krong, the turtles discover that the Krong are a corrupted extraterrestrial race of Utrams from outer space. They have invaded Earth many years ago and have come to Earth from Dimension X and built their headquarters with a company called the TCRI High Rise. They are plotting to use the mutagen along with a unique set of Krong-like telekinetic psychic powers that April was born with to annihilate mankind and to terraform the Earth into a planet in order effectively transmutate the human race into fellow Krong that will be suitable for their race. The Krong needed April's unique mental energy, and they tried to use it to perfect the planetary mutation mechanism to the turtles' reality. After the turtles rescue Kirby, the Krong invade New York, but the turtles and April emerge triumphant when they are able to send the Technodrome crashing into the sea. Leonardo makes a heroic sacrifice, trying his best to hold off Krong Prime and is seemingly killed. but also emerges alive and ultimately unharmed, having narrowly escaped at the last second. Meanwhile, Splinter battles Shredder and learns that Karai is technically his own long-lost birth daughter, Miwa, who was kidnapped by Shredder and who believes that Splinter killed her mother. Unwilling to fight her, he retreats in sorrow. The first season ends with Turtles and April celebrating their victory over Krong as Splinter hides this secret of Karai's true identity of Miwa from them, but promises to divulge this information for another day. Meanwhile, on the seabed, the crashed Technodrome relights, indicating that the fight isn't over yet. Sometime after their victory in the Season 2 premiere, the Turtles continue to lazily and overconfidently party, much to Splinter's dismay, as he orders them to be alert. The group soon learns that the Krong have survived their previous attack, and a Krong UFO is delivering a shipment of mutagen canisters to Shredder, who have teamed up with the Krong to eliminate their mutual enemies. While the Turtles successfully infiltrate the Krong UFO and thwart this mission of the mutagen reaching Shredder, their inept incompetence causes a flurry of mutagen canisters to rain down on the city, much to their horror. The Turtles struggle to contain an outbreak of mutations that occurs thanks to the leftover mutagen from the thwarted Krong invasion. Kirby is among the victims of the outbreak, and a misunderstanding leads April to hate the Turtles and break off their friendship. However, the Turtles are able to earn her forgiveness when Donnie saves her from Karai, resumes hunting her down with the help of the Krong. Having finally reconciled with the Turtles, April once again decides to seek shelter at their lair to undergo some more training with Splinter, while the Turtles continue searching for the missing mutagen but also be on the lookout for the Foot Army. The Hamato clan also gains a new member when April's new friend Casey Jones helps repel an assault on the Turtles' lair. After several more adventures, which involve the Turtles and April storming TCRI, where they gain another human ally named Jack J. Kurtzman, with the group learning more about the Krong's backstory, and why April is a crucial element to the Krong's plot as well as the return and revenge of the Rat King. Master Splinter finally confesses to the Turtles the shockingly horrible secret about Karai's true identity he had been harboring, that she is his own long-lost birth daughter, and that she mistakenly believes that Splinter killed her mother, whereas it was really Shredder, which is why she is filled with fanatical hatred towards them. Meanwhile, the Shredder returns from Japan with the mutated Japanese bounty hunter Tiger Claw, who becomes the Shredder's new second-in-command, much to Karai's rebellious chagrin. Additionally, Karai is informed of the truth about her life by Leonardo. However, she flatly distrusts Leo and harshly rebuffs this, even trying to slay the turtle for his repeated lies. But she is later shown eavesdropping on the group by hiding behind a billboard and overhears the group gossiping about her. Despite still being skeptical, she finally becomes intrigued by their conversation and begins to doubt her loyalty towards Shredder. Sometime later, Kirby is eventually restored to his human form when Donatello finally manages to synthesize and concoct a retro mutagen, which causes organic beings to reverse their major physical transformations, and help keep it away from former TCRI inventor Baxter Stockman, who gets mutated into Stockman Fly while under Shredder's employ. After Tiger Claw, who later returns to the 2012 reality, enlists her in a devious scheme to find the Turtles' lair, Karai succeeds in deceiving April, Donnie, and Leo by pretending to trust them about Splinter. She is taken to the lair, much to Raphael's ire. As the brothers argue, Karai sneakily schemes an ambush by slyly activating her tracking device, leading Tiger Claw to the lair. However, after she finally does realize the truth herself, her feelings towards Splinter and the Turtles change. Realizing the enormity of her treacherous schemes and cruelty toward the Turtles and Splinter, she joins forces with them and disowns Shredder and Tiger Claw by leading Tiger Claw to an old, underground meat processing factory. After the battle that ensues, she is captured by Tiger Claw, taken back to Shredder's lair where Shredder confesses the truth and imprisoned. Repeated attempts to free Karai by Leonardo ultimately succeed, but the Shredder captures Karai again and uses her as bait to kill the Hamato clan. However, despite the best efforts from the Turtles and Splinter to rescue her once more, Karai ends up mutated into a feral and predatory purple and white serpent after her cage falls into a pool of mutagen containing snake DNA, to everyone's horror. This goes against Shredder's plan, so he is contacted by Krong Prime to propose a risky alliance and a solution. After negotiating, the two come to an agreement. Shredder and his forces will help the Krong capture April and conquer all of New York City, and then the world in exchange for the Krong robots helping Shredder capture and destroy the Turtles and Splinter, as well as restoring Karai back to her normal human form. Over the next few weeks, the Turtles, April, and Casey scour the city in search of Serpent Karai in the hopes of mutating her back to normal, but their search turns up nothing. Afterwards, Donnie must put aside his differences with Casey when some purple dragon gangsters steal and open an ancient Chinese dagger, unleashing an evil ghost that tries to sap April's psychic powers while Leo, Raph, and Mikey undergo an evil possession. becoming Ho-Chan's henchmen. When the Krong perfects their previously unstable mutagen, the turtles travel through a portal into Dimension X, scouring this weird alien land and battle rock monsters to rescue Leatherhead, who is being tormented by his Krong captors and sends a holographic distress message through an orb. But only Mikey can figure this place out. They are successful in this mission and escape back to Earth just before the Krong's facility explodes, postponing their invasion for months, meaning days. This gives the turtles some more time to prepare their defenses, and Donnie some time to finish construction on the turtle mech. Despite all this, the Krong launch a second invasion of New York, starting by trashing the turtles' lair. Although Splinter and the turtles eventually fight off Krong's subprime, most of their lair is trashed, forcing them to abandon it. The Krong begin mutating New York City's populace, including Kirby, despite the efforts of Earth's military and the turtles. A falling out between Leo and Donnie jeopardizes the mission when Leonardo sacrifices himself to get the others to safety and is separated from the rest of the team. As more Krong continue to invade, leading Donnie to lead, Leo is left to single-handedly battle Shredder, Tiger Claw, Dog Pound, Fishface, and the entire Foot Clan army, but despite his valiant efforts, Shredder and his thugs gang up on the turtle. Leo is gravely injured and knocked unconscious, as is Splinter after a battle with the Shredder, who, after defeating Leatherhead, ruthlessly flushes the unconscious rat down a sewer drain. The turtles, April, and Casey are forced to flee to the O'Neill family's summer home in upstate New York as the Krong successfully conquer the whole city of Manhattan. Meanwhile, Splinter is rescued by Serpent Karai, who recognizes him and is left on a ledge underground in the sewer to recover. The group takes refuge at the O'Neill family's summer home upstate in Northampton, Massachusetts, in order to recuperate from their loss at the hands of the Krong and the Foot Clan. Leonardo goes into a coma for 3 months because of his wounds, and Raphael watches over Leonardo, waiting for him to wake up. After Leonardo wakes up, he takes an extended amount of time to recover, but guided by an apparition of Splinter, is able to overcome his physical and mental wounds. The group eventually returns to New York with the goal of finding Splinter, Karai, Kirby, and their other missing allies and liberate the city from the Krong. They are successful in finding Splinter and, after restoring his humanity and memories, set up a temporary base in the abandoned Antonio's Pizza restaurant. Donatello begins work on new samples of retro mutagen as the search for Kirby and Karai continues. Shredder later captures and mutates Anton Zek and Ivan Steranko into his latest mutants, which Mikey dubs as Bebop and Rocksteady. After the duo is seen hunting down Serpent Karai while the Purple Dragons gain Hun as their leader. The turtles, after outwitting Bebop and Rocksteady, manage to spray some retro mutagen on Serpent Karai, but it has no effect. Slowly losing her mind, she bids farewell to the turtles, April, and Casey before escaping into the sea before getting captured by Shredder, who promises to restore her back to normal. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles even run into the mighty Mutanimals. Together, they manage to banish the Krong back to Dimension X and free New York. But the effect of the invasion eventually earns Shredder cemented control of the city's criminal underworld for his efforts to create a mind control serum meant for the turtles. Mutanimals, and especially Serpent Karai, who gets brainwashed and begins hunting Splinter, the turtles, April, and Casey down. Meanwhile, Leo is taught an ancient healing technique to counteract the lethal venom. The turtles are later offered by future time sorceress Renette to time travel to the past, where they meet up with a younger Hamato Yoshi and Oroku Saki, as well as Yoshi's late wife and Karai's mother, Tang Shen. During the battle between Yoshi and Saki inside the burning Hamato clan dojo, Shen is accidentally killed by Saki, who meant to kill Yoshi instead. Saki leaves the dojo after his hair burns off from the fire and kidnaps Yoshi and Shen's baby daughter Miwa, vowing to raise her as Karai and leaving Yoshi to die. After his escape, the turtles save Yoshi, as they were always destined to, before traveling back to the present with Renette. When the Krong returns to Earth, the turtles discover that the Krong have another enemy from Dimension X in the form of the Triceratan Empire. Despite their best efforts and Shredder violating the Foot Clan's temporary truce with the turtles by backstabbing Splinter during the fight in cold blood, the ruthless Triceratons activate the Heart of Darkness, a black hole creating machine that annihilates both the Krong and sucks up the Earth and everyone on it. But just as it comes to the worst for the turtles, April, and Casey, they are rescued by a friendly robot by the name of Professor Honeycutt, who uses a spacecraft to take the turtles, April, and Casey to a journey into outer space. After the turtles, April, and Casey are saved from the destruction of Earth, the Fugitoid uses his spacecraft the Ulixes to turn back time to 6 months earlier in order for him and the turtles to prevent the Triceratan Empire led by Emperor Zanmorin from assembling the 3 components of the Heart of Darkness that are scattered throughout the universe before everything on Earth is lost. Besides fighting the Triceratons, the turtles also face new enemies in outer space like Lord Ringath Dreg of the planet Sectoid, and the bounty hunter Armageddon. and even have an adventure with their interdimensional 1987 series counterparts and their enemy Krang, who is an exiled relative of Krang Subprime. In the process, they also gain new allies such as Mona Lisa and Sal Commander. Despite the efforts of the Turtles, the Triceratons are still able to collect all 3 pieces of the black hole generator, only for the present Turtles to return to Earth and join forces with their past selves to warn Splinter's past self before he is killed by Shredder's past self, stop the detonator of the Heart of Darkness, and defeat the Triceratons. The present Fugitoid destroys the black hole generator near the Triceraton space fleet, causing to explode, presumably killing the Triceratons. In the aftermath of the fight against the Triceratons, the past versions of the Turtles, April and Casey, leave Earth with the past Fugitoid in the Ulixes, while the present Fugitoid's head reactivates in Earth's orbit. At one point, during their adventures throughout the cosmos, April is given a fragment of the ancient eon's mystical Sol Star, which helps her in further developing her psychic abilities as well as drastically increasing them to incalculable levels, also due to the several training sessions she had with the Fugitoid. Weeks later, following the Triceraton invasion being thwarted and the Foot Clan's disappearance, April is promoted to Kunoichi at the time when the witch Shinigami arrives, and is revealed that she is Karai's friend as they plot to rebuild the Foot Clan and dispose of Shredder, who is still recuperating from his last fight with Splinter. While Karai and Shinigami have some ninjas on their side, the Foot Clan strengthens the Footbot army by creating the elite Footbots. Furthermore, some other crime organizations have been plotting to take over the Foot Clan's territory, and a crystal fragment of immeasurable mystical power is beginning to exert quite a baneful influence on her. However, she eventually succeeds in overcoming its vast mystical power and shatters it. She then apologizes for not disregarding the universal influence the Sol Star fragment had on her, but assures everyone that she now has a better understanding of how to control her increasingly powerful psionic abilities on her own. Using a special mutagen formula, Orokusaki recuperates and becomes the Super Shredder in order to take back control of the Foot Clan from Karai, finish off Splinter and the Turtles, and even goes far enough to inject more unstable mutagen into himself. He ends up killing Splinter by stabbing him after so long and is thrown into a garbage truck to be left for dead by Casey and April. However, he survives and begins to hunt the Turtles once again. Having had enough, the Turtles decide to end the long feud once and for all. After many obstacles, the Turtles face Shredder and Leonardo ends it by killing him. With Splinter avenged and Shredder dead, the Turtles and their friends wonder about what lies ahead. Knowing the Foot isn't over yet and there are still enemies out there, the heroes prepare for the road ahead, knowing that Splinter is still with them, in spirit. So that's it and that's all. So if you loved the video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and let us know in which series you want the next video. Thanks for watching. Sayonara.